Hi everyone! I hope you are enjoying your Sunday afternoon. I am going to re-record Crash because the first time that I did it I didn't break it up at all, and YouTube doesn't like videos that are too long. So I'm going to do a couple, probably 3 chapters at a time until we get to the end of the book. So look for more recordings of this. The last time that we read Crash on Tuesday, we found out that Webb was running by Crash's house every single night, sprinting. We also found out that Scooter's going to make it, and he has only one word that he says for everything, a bye. And we also found out that Abby's mouse house in the back of in the yard there, Crash told her some maybe helpful hints to get through that and to move that into the back part of the bushes so that the mice would want to come in there instead of being out in the open. So on chapter 39, this is where we're going to start. Something happened in English today. A couple weeks ago we got an assignment. Write an essay about someone you know. Tell what that person means to you. I wrote about Scooter. Not about the stroke and the rehab and all. I just wrote about the good stuff. I told about his great cooking and the stories in bed and how he came to all my games, even the rain. The papers were due today. When I got to class, Webb was already there wearing the old peace button. Duluc was there too. I took my seat. Webb got up to talk to the teacher, and as soon as that happened, Mike went to Webb's desk and snatched some stapled sheets of paper off of it. It was probably Webb's essay, I was guessing. On the way back to his desk, Mike crumpled it up into a ball. When Webb got back, he saw right away what had happened. He started looking around frantically for his essay, under his desk, in his books, on the floor. Kids were giggling. Suddenly, while Webb's back was to him, Mike turned and whipped that paper ball to me. I never didn't catch a ball in my whole entire life. Never, ever. So I caught it. The bell rang. Everybody settled down. The class started. The teacher didn't ask for the essays right away. As the period went on, I got more and more curious about Webb's paper. Finally, as quietly as I could, I uncrumpled it. I flattened it against my desktop, shielded it with my book, and began to read. This is what it says. One of the most important people to me is my great-grandfather, Henry Wilhide Webb III. I feel very fortunate and blessed to have a great-grandfather, but he is more than that to me. He is 91 years old. It is hard to believe that someone who is 80 years older than me can understand how I feel, but he really can. He is my best friend. Henry Wilhide Webb III gave me my first name. In the year 1919, he ran for his college track team in the famous Penn Relays. Shortly after that, he traveled west to the state of North Dakota, and he settled there and raised a family. But he never forgot that day at the Penn Relays. When I was born, my mother told him that he could name his first grandson. He named him Penn, and that was me. We moved to Pennsylvania 7 years ago. I have only seen him once since then, and I miss him very much. But most of all, I miss the stories that he used to tell me about the good old days. Sometimes he makes me sad when he says that he feels himself disappearing like the prairie. My great-grandfather is coming to visit us for 2 weeks in April. He is coming then because that is when the Penn Relays take place. He says he wants to see them one last time. I do not believe he knows that middle schools and even grade schools now compete in the Penn Relays. I believe that the best gift that I can give my great-grandfather would be for him to see me run in the Penn Relays. That is why I have been practicing my running every single night. The teacher called for the papers. I passed mine in. The bell rang. Everybody packed up. Webb took a last look around his desk. While everybody else headed for the door, he headed for the teacher. I intercepted him. I stopped him. I stuck the essay in his hand. I found it, I said awkwardly. It's wrinkled, but it's okay. He was gaping at me like a hooked fish as I went out the door. Track sign-ups are tomorrow. Chapter 40. April 2nd. Sorry, my light is not very good down here. I was in the kitchen this morning checking out the fridge when I heard screaming sounds. No, go away, scram. I opened the back door. Abby was in the yard holding the garden shovel like a baseball bat, and in front of her was the ChemLawn man in his white jumpsuit, holding the end of a hose that snaked back to a can-shaped truck parked at the curb. He tried to reason with her. He told her that it was imperative to spray the ground now so that all those evil weeds wouldn't have a chance to get started. But all Abby did was snarl, "Plant murderer! Go away, that stuff on the hair growing. Go spray that stuff on the hair growing out of your nose." The guy wasn't stupid. He didn't move. He knew if he did, he'd get that shovel right across the kneecaps. He looked at me, but he saw that I was laughing too hard to be of any help. So he backed off, reeled in the hose, and drove away. Tonight, my father paid Abby a little visit in her room. I heard him ask her what she did. I heard him ask her what she thought she was doing. "Daddy," he said, "he was killing the weeds." "Well, this may come to a shock as you, honey, but that happens to be the whole idea." "It's a bad idea," she said. "We have to have them, or we can't be an official wildlife habitat." "But the last time I checked, this was a home, not a habitat, honey."